There's God here, and it's time to talk about ReZero. Suffering is back on the menu, and what a way to start season 3. Feels like a movie premiere here, what we've gotten. I wish more series would do like this, be it new series or sequels, because having this longer way to get you back into the series or get you firstly into the series is great, like Oshinoko Direct or Freeren. This one just was amazing. You have the aftermath a bit with what happened in season 1, season 2, the OVAs also, and I even did rewatch the series just to go fully into this one because I love ReZero, is one of my all-time favorite series, but it felt great here, and that cliffhanger was chef's kiss. But this episode, pretty long one, like 90 minutes here, so this is gonna be a longer video also. I'm gonna talk about the main things. Of course, I'm not gonna go through every single detail, so I don't wanna make the video 5 hours here. So get ready, get some snacks, and let's talk about this episode. Now, picks up 1 year later, and I do like some time skip, and I like that. Give some improvement to the relationships between them, especially we see Subaru training, having that obstacle course there, and even Garfield was apparently using it. And I love the relationship between all of the characters. I love that Beatrice is there. She's always there with him throughout the episode. They were so cute together, always holding hands. She was all over him together, doing pretty much everything. They're very rarely apart here. Petra was around there. We see Mimi coming in from Anastasia's camp. The Ram still teasing Subaru. All of them. Garfield, Emilia, Otto. I like that Otto is standing around. He's the best boy, especially best friend. Having Otto in your camp is awesome, especially after what happened in season 2. But we have somebody to see Subaru. Also, we have this new character being introduced, a messenger from Anastasia's Hoshin's camp, Joshua Euclid. Apparently, he's the brother of Julius, and I like such an awesome dynamic, Subaru and Julius, considering what happened in season 1, what Julius put him through, and how annoying Subaru. Even myself, Subaru is one of the best written main characters ever in general for me. But what he was doing back then in season 1, how obnoxious, how lacking of self-awareness he had there. He was just one, dude, come on, even now when I was rewatching it, I know it's worth it, but I still wanted to strangle him. And Julius was there, what he did was amazing, even though he did went a bit too far, and even those scenes when he had to kill Subaru, after they were together to defeat Beetlejuice, an amazing dynamic between them. They're still butting heads, but they understand each other much better right now. But Subaru still has that grudge a bit against Julius here, and seeing a smaller version with Joshua brings back some emotion here, and I like Mimi is great. Mimi is one of the best characters. He instantly says, "Hey, Beako and Subaru, Beako is Subaru and Emilia's kid." Eh? Wait, what? That innocence of a kid, even though she's so powerful. And Joshua seems to adore, kind of has Julius on a pedestal there, admires him quite a lot. But this messenger, this invitation here is for Emilia to invite her to Watergate city of Pristella for a party, but also she found something that she seeks. And here, if you guys remember what happened with Puck, his crystal broke, Rosal interfering with the contract and so on back in season 2, they want to bring him back, especially Emilia. So they need a big magical crystal to house a greater spirit. So they have been looking for it, and apparently there's one in this Watergate city of Pristella. But before we get to that, I really liked how much better, like I said, the relationships in this episode were great. We see Emilia and Subaru actually discussing it together, talking through things. Is it good we can do this? Is it worth it? Should we do? And back and forth between them. That was such a small moment, but such an awesome moment considering how it was before. Her doing something else, him doing something else behind her back. Even though it was for her or doing what it was needed, having them talk through things was great. Communication is very important Also, they do agree to go there and even go to talk to Roswell, telling him, hey, we have to go. Yeah, but it's a bad time. We have this coming up, the ball with the nobles and so on. He still agrees, but still being Roswell, even though he's on their camp fully now, considering the bet in season 2 and the oath, the magic covenant he has on him there. And another great scene which just shows how good Subaru is as a character. That small moment of him not forgetting to visit Rem, talking to her, telling her about his day, everything that happened. That moment just brought a tear to my thing, and I do hope at some point we're gonna get Rem back here. Awesome, awesome moment just to get the episode started, seeing a bit more in Emilia's camp, how everything changed after season 1 and season 2 there. But now, moving forward a bit, they're heading towards the town. We have Otto kind of has a really good spot right now in the camp. While they're in the carriage, they're talking to Emilia. Even for us, we get a bit of exposition how the rankings are for the royalty selection there. Krush and Anastasia used to be at the top at the start, but Emilia has gotten much further ahead than when she was previously, considering her reputation there. Pristella is also doing really, really well. Krush still has to deal with her memories being lost there, but Emilia has gotten a massive boost with all of the achievements, the witch cult, the sanctuary, the whale there. Health also has been getting up in the rankings, kind of getting the outcasts a bit on her side, and Felt was great in this episode also. But speaking of Rem and Krush, like I said, I do want Rem back, but also Krush's memories would be awesome to have back, because considering how Subaru made his first impression there, how they had that negotiation there before he learned to negotiate thanks to Anastasia, even though he got real annoyed when Anastasia used him for information back in season 1 there, back when he was obnoxious. Krush after that saw his potential, especially during the fight with the white whale, and that conversation between them at the end, just awesome, seeing how much her perspectives change, and him also even saying, hey, if I haven't met Emilia, and I get it, Krush is a great character. I do hope she's gonna get her memories back at some point here. So this race for the crown is gonna be much closer than before, to say the least. Now, like how Otto was there calming Emilia, talking to her and telling her, hey, it's okay to rely on others. Subaru is doing this, you're doing this, I'm doing that. Garfield is looking around the perimeter and so on. And I like how everybody was in the carriage and Garfield was just running on the ground. But she finally has people. You can't do this alone. She has people to rely on her, and others also rely on her. This was great seeing things like this here, and finally getting to the city. Pristella looked awesome here, and seeing the reactions when it panned out, seeing the entire city. Even they commented when Subaru says, hey, that city reminds me of Venice. By the way, Emilia was describing it when they're talking at the start of the episode, and it definitely does look like Venice. It's heavily inspired from that, if I do say the least here. But there's something more to it. Now, you find out about the history a bit. Apparently, it's been built on a lake, but as a trap. But we don't know what was the purpose, like trap who or what, or what was the point of this trap. It has these huge walls. There's this tower Mitya that can control the water level at some point. So this town definitely has a history, a purpose. We just don't know it for now, at least here. Now, back then, we get more characters. Everybody's pretty much gathering here. They meet in Pristella, and Julius is here. And I like how they're still bickering with the Subaru. Like I said, the dynamic between them is really, really good. Beatrice abusing a bit her status, has a great spirit with Julius. We know he respects spirit quite a lot. She just, yeah, I'm this great spirit, I'd like some snacks. Of course. One of my favorite things, I just wanted to keep it until here. Subaru has Beatrice always around him. But when we first met Joshua, Mimi was there also, and she instantly was like, "Hey Garfield, let's eat that food." What they mentioned, she instantly jumped him and, "You're mine now. Let's do this together." And even here, right after everybody gathered again, Mimi's like, "Garfield," boop, grabs him and just throws out. So Mimi and Garfield are gonna be great together here. I love the relationship between them also. But this inn where Anastasia is housing them, very Japanese style, and apparently as this Kararagi style, so somebody from Japan, another outer worlder, built it properly, which we still don't know how Subaru even got into this world. Other people, how did they get here? A lot of questions about those things, but probably related to the main plot of the story. Apparently Hoshinor of Wilderness built it. He's kind of like, made me think a bit of like Da Vinci. He's this inventor of some sorts, gadget builder of something, so definitely made me think of Da Vinci. Hopefully we get to see more of him. But the main purpose of the trip, having this crystal for Puck, apparently is owned by a news company here. This guy that has a interesting reputation. The man whose heart was stolen by the songstress maniac, and that's gonna lead to some misunderstandings. We're gonna get to that a bit a bit later. And speaking of songstress, please do watch Vivi, creator of rezero. Also make sure you check out Vivi Floret's Eye song. Awesome series. But here also find out that Subaru is probably a dragon slayer. He has motion sickness or seasickness. He got sick on the boat and kind of splits from the main group with Emilia going to negotiate for the crystal. And I was like, okay, something's gonna happen here. When they split up, there's gonna be something here always happened. But he runs into this girl singing in public, Liliana, and he's just, I was like, okay, she has a voice. Even I was thinking in myself, but the lyrics felt so random, and like he voiced out what I was thinking internally, saying the quiet part out loud. Hey, the lyrics are terrible, they suck. And he gets swarmed by the mob. Hey, shut up, don't interrupt there. But he did have a point, so, but you don't say that out loud, even though I wanted to say it. And apparently she is the songstress, so of course she's gonna be connected to that one. She instantly wanted to be paid for the song after they spent time together. And I kind of like her. She's very pushy, to say the least. She gives them direction to the guy they were looking for. And here is where we see Subaru's reputation. Everybody knows pretty much about his achievements. Right now he has some standing in the world compared to before. The White Whale, the Witch Cult, everything he did for Emilia and so on. But he's also the little girl user, or the lolly man, which is kind of true. Let's be honest here. Mimi also with and Beatrice especially. But here we have Liliana kind of wanting to go with them to get more stories for songs, like a bard here. And the guy they are looking for, she knows him, and she knows that he likes her quite a lot. His name is Kiritaka. I'm sorry if I'm butchering his name, but the misunderstandings come from here. The way Subaru was holding her, trying to stop her. Hey, don't go in. Grabs her and, please make me a woman. Okay, so that guy kind of blows a casket and throws them out. The negotiation stop. Of course, that was gonna happen here. But after that, what was great, because we know him right now from Emilia's trial. When she took the trial in the sanctuary, we saw her past, what happened with Pandora, but especially with Regulus, because Regulus is in the town also. He just bumps into Emilia and tries to stroke her hair, saying, yeah, we're gonna meet again. A bit more ominous, to put it like that. But I like how Subaru handled that. Very polite, very calm, cool, and collected. And if he had his usual reaction, like getting angry or jumping him or hitting him. We kind of know how Regulus reacts to that, so that could have gone much, much worse if it was the typical Subaru. So showing a lot of improvement for Subaru here, but also, why the fuck is Regulus in the town? Considering, by the way the episode ended and what we saw in the trailer, seems like all shit is gonna hit the fan. We're gonna get to that, but Regulus says, hey, we're gonna meet again, but Emilia has this nagging feeling like she remembers him but can't place him, and like, okay, she's gonna realize that later, so that's gonna be interesting how she's gonna react when she finally fully remembers and realizes who he is there. And after this, I'm like, okay, there's no way it's that guy, right? We have Joshua arguing with this guy in chains, and he was the robber from back in the first episodes of rezero. I'm like, okay, damn, it's that guy. Rachins is his name, but I like Subaru's name for him, Damar. So I'm gonna keep calling him that. Apparently he works for Reinhard now, and speaking of Reinhard, he shows up, and this one is awesome character development for Garfield here. What they did in this episode, or these episodes, however you wanna count them, was great for Garfield, because Garfield, like Subaru now, calls him boss, trusts him as on his on their camp. Fully he admitted that defeat. He had that moment of realization with his mother, and we're gonna get to that also. But here with his power and with Elsa, but with Reinhardt, instantly tried to attack. He sensed a threat. He sensed somebody powerful, but Reinhardt is just like, yeah, and he keeps talking. Now, what Reinhardt does, and is probably the thing that annoys people the most, like probably one of the most, if not the most powerful character in the series, but is his personality, his demeanor, the way he talks. He doesn't snap. He doesn't. It's just like, dude, give me something. You try to annoy him, you get more annoyed. There's no way. He controls the pace of the conversation, of the encounter, of everything. How calm he is, and I don't think he realizes the lack of self-awareness is insane in Reinhardt, and that's probably what drives people crazy. I don't know how I handle a conversation with Reinhardt if we had something, a conflict or anything like that, but I feel like that's the main annoyance people have with Reinhardt, the characters, I mean, because as a character, he's great, Reinhardt, I love him quite a lot. But this makes Garfield kind of get a complex a bit. Nobody really put him in his place like that, power-wise, like completely shutting him down. It eats up at him throughout the episode, and we're gonna get back to that because it's very important. But then we have Crush's camp there also, and Felix or Felix, Wilhelm, one of my all-time favorite characters in the series, and you sense there's something more between him and Reinhardt, and we're gonna get to that also. And I like how Anastasia said, yeah, we didn't invite Pristella because there's no talking to her, she just does whatever she wants. I'm like, yeah, so she's probably gonna show up. But the reason why they're here, they have to talk about gluttony. And I liked Subaru's reaction there, and even more tying it back to Julius's conversation, we're gonna get to that also. He actually got upset. He voiced out loud again. He got into his feelings, like he improved, but he's still the old Subaru. He still has those reactions, especially considering what he lost thanks to gluttony with Rem and also with Krush there. But they finally reach a calm status a bit. They talk, even Felt joins. And Felt has definitely improved a bit, even though she's very arrogant, to put it the least here. And like I said, Garfield got really worried about his encounter with Reinhardt, and the cute moments between them during the meetings reminded me a bit of Slime anime, but Beatrice and Subaru are awesome together. She was just relaxing on that massage chair, and she was just sneak attack in her yakata. She wanted Subaru to see her. She wanted the compliment. She was so cute. Like, I know what she wants, Subaru, give it to her. And he does. She was so happy, but then Emilia shows up and Subaru just like, what? He lost when he saw Emilia in the yakata. And I like how cute Beatrice was getting jealous a bit of Emilia, but we all know Subaru loves Emilia, and even Beatrice know this, but the cute moments between them, and like back her answer there when Roswell asked her, you do know that Subaru's never gonna make you his number one. No, I do know that, but I'm gonna make him my number one, and that was great here, and seeing more reactions between them is awesome. But Garfield having some issues, not just with Reinhard and power. He starts seeing Elsa, and it feels like he has some form of trauma or PTSD in a way from her fight with her, how that fight ended, the conversations between them. So Elsa has had a big effect on him. She started provoking him, but it's kind of like in his insecurities talking back at him through Elsa. In a way, especially I feel like Reinhard also triggered that a bit, but that's awesome having him to deal with this, and knowing he's not always the strongest one. And even his conversation with Mimi was great when she calmed him down there, telling him, hey, you're gonna have to work to that, let's work together there. Mimi and Garfield are great. I never expected this to happen, but they fit each other so well. They're still kids, but they're also very powerful kids, and they have this interesting dynamic between them. And even Garf, when he saved those kids, started bragging there, having his moments, telling the kids, "Hey, call me gorgeous tiger." Even doing the Subaru pose, I really like that pose. Is spreading there. He takes one of the kids home, Fred, and he's scared of his sister being mad at him. And yeah, Garfield has some knowledge with that, with Frederica. But the interesting thing that happened, their mother shows up, and I'm like, there's no way. Wait, she's very similar, right? But there's no way. And actually, is that his mother? Is like, mom. I'm like, wait, didn't she die? There's no way she's alive. This is like, it's gonna explode their lives here, especially with Garfield, what he's going through, the way he accepted that his mother loved him back then, and even Frederica, what she's gonna react when she finds out that their mother is alive. Why didn't she recognize him? Why? I have so many questions about this, but such a great moment now. I don't know if she's truly their mother, or if she just looks very similar, or is there something else happening, but it's awesome moment. And Garfield has gotten so much character development in this episode here is insane there. But also what I love are the quiet moments, the conversations, like I said, Subaru and Julius, but also Subaru and Wilhelm. And I love how much respect Wilhelm has for Subaru, all the gratitude for everything they did together, and started talking a bit about Teresia, the past, how he changed, how he used to be. He was a bit similar with Subaru in some ways, always snapping at people, or always in his emotions. Even he admitted he wasn't always so soft spoken here, and how much saying he believes in Subaru and his power to gather people, and that his reputation has spread quite far. I love how much respect Wilhelm has for Subaru, and Subaru also the same, probably the person he respects the most here. And he actually confiding in Subaru that he can't really speak with Reinhard the same way that he does with Subaru. He doesn't have that courage here, and Subaru understanding that was great, and telling him, hey, Reinhard wants to find out what happened with the white well, when Reinhard asked him earlier, but why don't you do that? And that was such a great moment. Even now I'm getting a bit teared up. Subaru, just a small nugget of help for Wilhelm, something to bring them together there was great. And Wilhelm saying he has 3 regrets in his life, and one of them being the rift between him and Reinhardt there. And yeah, I do hope they reach an understanding, but it's gonna be a long road considering what happened, and we're gonna get to that after the next day. Have Otto having a hangover. Like how much they tease Otto throughout everything, all of them being gathered up, having okonomiyaki. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that, cooking their Japanese style. get a town broadcast, Liliana's song, The Sword Demons Love, that hit the feelings for Wilhelm, to say the least. And actually, this was the moment, and a perfect one, while they were eating. He wasn't really good at cooking. Like, Wilhelm can do a lot of things. Beatrice can also do a lot of things. Emilia can do a lot of things, but cooking is not one of them for all three. But with Wilhelm, he got the courage to do the first step, and that's always the hard. It's very easy when you're looking from the outside. Dude, just go talk to him. Yeah, but when it's affecting, we've all had those moments. You want to say something to somebody, but you can't find the moment, the words, the will to do it, and he finally took that big step. Wilhelm, hey Reinhard, can you help me with cooking? Show me a trick, something to break the ice. And that was such a great moment. I'm like, okay, they're finally gonna get somewhere there. And then there's a character that storms in and wanted to kill him. Motherfucker, what is this? And even more, after I find out who he is, Heinkel, this drunk guy, he's the vice captain of the Knights, and Subaru actually went in on him, and this guy was like, hey, beat him up, talking to Julius and Reinhardt, since he's the vice captain. But I like how Julius calmed the situation down, controlled it a bit there, and here is where something, a huge bomb was dropped. Apparently Reinhardt killed Theresia. I'm like, okay, wasn't the white well, there's something more happening. It always was in the back of my mind. How did Theresia tie to the white well? We saw how powerful she was. The source time, we see that Reinhardt is the current one, so she must have been really powerful. How did she die to the white well? So something bigger must have happened there, and this is why Reinhardt and Wilhelm aren't on good terms. Something happened between them, to say the least. I do hope we get a flashback or something to see what happened with Theresia there. And just wanted to punch Heinkel so much. He's Wilhelm's son, but this is probably one of the regrets, I think, for Wilhelm. I don't know what happened between them, or how somebody from Wilhelm, his son, turned up like that, because Heinkel seems like a piece of shit, to say the least. But the best moment was how he tried to provoke Emilia, and showing her growth, she handled him so easy, not giving him an inch to the provocation, even though Subaru wanted to jump in. No, it's fine. This is the best way to handle people that want to provoke you. Don't bite. Don't take the bait. Just ignore it. They're gonna get a lot more angrier. Of course, there's a limit to this, how much it escalates, but in conversation like this, that was a great way for Emilia to do this. And like I said, foreshadowing, Pristella shows up. She's saying she doesn't remember Subaru. He kind of has to build up his reputation with her again after that foot licking scene, and I know a lot of you would have done the same thing here. Al is a great character, the knight, and how much he respects Subaru and how well he treats him kind of made me think the way they call each other brother. You guys remember that vagabond guy that was in the first few episodes in the slums? They went to old guy Rom's house there with Felt. Subaru ran into a guy, they kept calling each other brother. I'm like, is that guy Al, or was he from there? Is it like a saying there, they call each other brother? Is just Al always calling him brother just because, and it's just a coincidence? I don't know, always thought about that. But I like Al quite a lot, even though he's such a big mystery. We never saw his face there, and if I remember the author in interview or something, he said if he reveals Al's circumstances, one of the big mysteries of the series is gonna get revealed here, to say the least. But yeah, Subaru has to build up his reputation again with Pristella, and she's just there. She just wanted to stir the pot with Heinkel. They're quite a lot, and apparently, yeah, the pot has been stirred a fuck ton, because he's the heir to the Austria estate, not Reinhardt. He's gonna inherit everything, so That's gonna be problematic, but he takes it a bit too far, and Pristella knocks him out. I'm like, wait, what? She didn't order Al to do this. She knocked him out. He's just vice captain in the name, so he's probably not a good fighter, but still. And she has a goddamn claymore giant sword. She was about to just execute him on the spot. They're cut him, but Al stopped him. I feel sorry for him. He has so much work with. We're like, okay, giant sword, so Pristella, definitely a powerful character. Young sword, that was the name for it, and I liked how Felt promises to take the Austria estate from Heinkel for Reinhard, and I love that. I love that. Even though she teases Reinhard quite a lot, she cares for him definitely. And Reinhard didn't really know what to say to that. He was in a tough position. He usually controls the conversation, but I like seeing some weakness in Reinhardt, at least on the personal level. I'm not talking about powers here. And Julius also saying that Subaru was the one that voiced the thing, saying the loud thing, like that I said that at the start there. He snapped out of it and even gave the others away. Hey, that guy said our angers. Let's calm it down here. He was about to go after Heinkel, but that would have caused a lot of problems for everybody. So Subaru still being Subaru, but Julius having that comment there, I loved it. And apparently there's a lot of history with the Austria family, the kingdom, with everything. 15 years ago, a royal member was kidnapped, and Wilhelm was out to investigate. And this is why he missed the White Whale fight with his wife dying here. So yeah, this is gonna be a lot of problems, power struggles and everything, and I'm here for it. Can't wait. This feels like such a big kind of opening up the world of rezero quite a lot. I know in a way like this opens up the real world, to say, like the human world in a way. How like the sanctuary open up the bit of the world with the witches, seeing all of them together, the tea party and everything here, the past with Roswell, the sanctuary and so on. Here we see a bit more of the current things being opened up with the royalty, the kingdom, this trap town that we have no idea. But Julius and Subaru's conversation was great after that, and Subaru telling Julius, you don't have to be always this stiff, this knight, being in that mode, this serious. Sometimes try being Yuli, like the persona that Julius had when they were fighting with the witches called relax sometime. And that was a great advice, and I do hope Julius takes it sometime. He's such a great character, and the dynamics between them, I love it here. But this has been a long one, to say the least. All of the build up, the character reactions, interactions, and everything here, and we see the beginning of something happening with Subaru and his group running into Liliana singing and Pristella dancing there. And I like the conversation between Pristella and Liliana when Pristella asks her, "Hey, wanna be my personal singer?" And Liana refusing, say it's her life, her generations, her mother, her grandmother, everybody in her family, kind of these nomad traveling singers there. And she refused, and Priscilla actually took it really, really well. Even the others were, were shocked. She was like, wait, weren't you gonna kill her or do something? Her, even Emil was surprised she took it that well. But I like Pristilla's worldview. She reminds me a bit of Gilgamesh from Fate, or a character from Doctor Stone. I'm drawing a blank on the name right now. Ryusui from Doctor Stone, kind of like greed, like saying the world is mine. So even if it's not near me, I still own it. In paraphrasing a bit there, and yeah, yeah, I like her, but I also have a lot of questions with Priscilla. What the fuck is that giant sword? But we're gonna get to that. Now, after that, we have Subaru running into Dahmer, the prisoner guy, and this is where this was one of the best scenes in the entire series here. Like, creepy, ominous, gruesome, terrifying, but the build up to it was so good. And throughout everything here, I'm like, when is the other shoe gonna drop? When is the other shoe gonna drop? I'm like, what is his checkpoint gonna be? What is his checkpoint gonna be? We have had so many great moments with the build up here. Don't restart it at the start. Don't, please. We have had such awesome moments here. But then we have this, well, he ran into a Dahmer. This mummy girl shows up on the tower in the square there, and she introduces herself as the Sin Archbishop of Wrath, Sirius Romane Conti. Like, okay, damn, so shit is about to go down. But she felt really well, like, apologetic, calm, sorry, kind of building them up, and everybody, even the crowd, like, going along with it all too happily with it. And she reveals she has this kid tied in chains, like in bondage, to say mouth, legs, like his legs were tied at his back, his arm couldn't move at all. I'm sure there's one fuckhead around it that is gonna say that should have been me. I swear. Okay, but here everybody was taking that as a joke, like laughing, calming, going along with it. And apparently the kid's name is Luzbel, and he has a sister. Like the way she said, like the voice acting was awesome during that scene. The panning out, the camera movements, seeing Subaru's face transitioning from curious and everybody around him to going along with that creepy smile, insane scene that we got here. And now Luzbel, being the kid, saying Sirius saying that Luzbel had a sister and he begged her to take him. So I don't know what's up with his sister also. So there's another kid being held up. So many questions for this, but the creepiness factor was through the roof. And you see the crowd losing slowly themselves into that speech and into her. And remember Wrath, to say Wrath is the sin. I'm really curious how this power works, because they even started crying tears. I don't know, were they of joy, of pain, of wrath, of whatever, but the moment she just drops the kid, he splats on the ground, like with head first, he splats, then all of them explode. And that transition to negative, to back and forth with Subaru, like his head exploding, his teeth first, his face, and everybody around him going poof, like blood bags exploding. Super creepy, scary, terrifying, and kind of makes you, I don't know, weird inside, to put it, but in such a great way, and made me think kind of like a mob mentality. Like this happens, like people go into frenzy when there's group mentality. People don't really think individually, they kind of lose themselves into something, and I feel like something similar happened here with Wrath. I don't know, she probably has hypnosis powers or some sort of influencing others around her with this, but the speech, kind of like the contradiction between what you're saying and what was happening around her, was just insane, to put lightly. And I really get Subaru's reaction after that. He dies, and I was sorry that he died, but also I was happy to see his checkpoint. Thankfully, his checkpoint is right after Pristilla's dance there and conversation with Liliana wanting some snacks. But his reaction, I feel sick, I feel crawling up into himself there. Yeah, I definitely felt that. Very visceral, to say the least. But awesome premiere that we had here. I probably rambled way too much. This is gonna be a really long video. I do hope you guys watch the series, watch the video also, but I'm really curious, what were your impressions with this episode, or your favorite moments? Give me some comments down below. I love to have more conversation with you guys, especially with a series like this. But please, I have one request: no spoilers. If you have read the source material, don't give me any spoilers. The only spoiler I have in the series is Reinhard is a fuck ton overpowered. That's all I know. Otherwise, beyond that, that's very obvious even from the anime. And it's very hard for me personally not to look at spoilers, because very weird with spoilers. Spoilers don't bother me except for series I do videos on. So I'm gonna stick with rezero, no spoilers, please. But anyway, enough yap and rambling. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought about the episode, what are your favorite moments, what do you think of this premiere here, and are you excited for more rezero? If you're a rezero fan, we're eating so good. Because apparently this is gonna be 16 episodes, but from rumors, leaks, and talks online, apparently we're gonna have 38 episodes. So get ready for a lot of rezero, and I'm right here. But as always, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, helps me quite a lot, and you guys get latest videos on the series that I follow. So keep enjoying rezero. I'm gonna see you again on the next one. Bye bye.